Salakia. Hey, Shalom, Yahweh Shem Yahshai Barak Thumb to all the brothers, Yahweh Shemar Thumb Shem Yahshai to all the sisters. If you can hear me properly, I'm speaking right now. My name's Officer Zabadra. I'm a priest and officer of 1000 in the I.S.U.P.K. under Commandant General YAHANNA. We teach that blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are the Israelites of the Bible. We've been teaching this since 1969. If you can hear me, put a 1 in the chat. If you can hear me clearly, put a 1 in the chat. All right, so I'm assuming you can hear me. All right, Shalom. The water officer Adiyar. Shalom Baraki Allah, Yahweh Bashim Yashab Rakatha. All right, so we're going to talk about it tonight. Tonight, we're talking about we're not Africans. We are not Africans. So if we're not Africans, who are we? Right? For so long, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we've relied with elephant in the room. I'm teaching this class for Canada live from Jamaica. Right? So let's get back to it. So if you hear some dogs outside, man, listen, it is what it is. Right. So I'm gonna try and keep it as hopefully it's as quiet as possible, my background noise. But for so long, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans have not known who they are. So we call ourselves blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Right. We even say we're African American. Some of us say we're American. So like a moment. Give me one moment. I'm gonna send that link again. If I time out, I'm just sending the link again. Give me one moment. All right, so I'm live again, right? So let's get it. I'm live again. So for years they've been telling us that we're African or we're whatever the oppressor decides to call us, we believe, right? They just started calling us African Americans. In about the early 90s, they started calling us African Canadians, right? But who are we? Right? And there's only one place we can go to find out who we are. We clearly cannot rely on our oppressors. Right? We cannot rely on our oppressors to tell us who we are. They've clearly destroyed us at every chance. They've never left us alone. And even for that brief second where we might have felt like we were alone, they would bomb our communities. They would destroy our communities. You go out to Nova Scotia, they won't even take up the garbage and they treat that community like a landfill. Right? So if we're going to find out who we are, we got to go to the Bible to find out who we are. Right? The one thing that the church won't tell you, hold up, 1 second.
Hey, shalom. Yahweh Shem
Hey, I don't even need these headphones. Okay. Yahweh Shem Yahshai Barakatha. What's going on? What's going on,
Well,
Priest?
everything to well, I'm under the weather a little bit, but you know.
Right, right. I was just about to go into Daniel. Priest, we in Jamaica, so
What's
we
saying
teaching from
Christ?
Jamaica right now.
Come. What's saying Christ? What's saying Christ? How are the brothers in Jamaica, man?
Oh, Tawab, excellent brotherhood, man. I did a class with them yesterday. That
Come.
that
What's
that
saying?
class was fire.
Come. What's saying
Boy,
Christ?
right. Get the brothers in Jamaica.
We all over the earth, man.
We international. Salakia.
Come. All right, let's
We
get it, please.
definitely international. All right, let's get it. Let me see if I can get a little more light. Right, let's get it. So we're about to go into Daniel 7 and 9 to show that color is in the Bible, that the people of the Bible are black. Right? It's not like the Christian church has taught us that the people, the angels, according to the Christian church, the angels are little babies running around naked and they're white. Right? But we're gonna get to that. Right? So I got Daniel 7 and 9, and I beheld till the thrones were cast down. Right? These are talking about. Wait, I'm gonna just keep reading some more. And the Ancient of Days did sit. Right? The Ancient of Days. This is talking about God. This is talking about Yahweh. Right? This is talking about our Lord, our power. Right? The Ancient of Days, whose garment was white as snow, and the hairs of his head like the pure wool. Right? Hold up, that's a clue. Right? There's only one people in the earth with head like wool. Right? And if you look to my brother Adiyar, you can see his hair is like pure wool. Right? So let's get it back. Whose garment was white as snow, and the hair of his head like the pure wool. His throne was like the the fiery flame, and his wheels as burning fire. Right? So this is describing the Lord right here. And you're noticing there's going to be a theme as we go on. Right? It's going to describe the people of this book. Right? And the Lord, his hair is like wool. His people's hair is like wool. Right? So let's keep going. Da, 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 da. Where are we gonna get to? Yeah, those are those dogs I was talking about. Hold up, give me a sec. Salakia. We're gonna go through a couple more precepts, and then I'm gonna read something from a book, right? Because the question that's gonna come up, they're gonna say, well, if you're not African, why were you stolen from Africa? Right? And it's very simple. When you go through history, you'll find it, right? And we'll show you. So we got a couple things to read, and we're gonna start to slowly show you that we're not African. Give me one moment. Bubba Kasha, Officer Adiyar, can you get Revelations 1? We're gonna start at verse 1, Bubba Kasha.
Come, please. You want me to go ahead right now?
Whenever you got it. Yeah, whenever
Come,
you got it.
come, please. Revelation chapter 1, verse 1. The revelation of Amashiach Yahushua,
Right.
which
So
God.
this Salakia. This is the revelation. Revelations means to reveal of your Mashiach Hawashai, right? That's Jesus Christ for the people who don't understand the Hebrew. But if you want to understand Hebrew, we do offer classes. We have an excellent class at 7 p.m., right? Friday nights, taught by Officer 500, Sharyuan. Baba Kasha, if you may.
Come, please. Which God gave unto him to shew unto his servants things which must shortly come to pass.
You can finish it out.
Come, please. And he sent and signified by his angel unto his servant John.
Right. So this is the revelation of John, right? John is having this vision, right? And he's going to reveal Jesus Christ, right? Yahweh Shai. Let's jump down to verse 13, right? Because your Christian pastor is never going to bring this up. He wasn't taught to bring this up. He was taught to love the people who enslaved him, Listen, when you see all the oppression that our people go through, it's kind of hard to love the oppressors that enslave you, the oppressors that make sure your countries are destroyed. And you got to question anybody who's telling you to love them.
Right.
Let's get it. Let's get it.
Come on, priest. Verse 13. And in the midst of the 7 candlesticks, one light unto the Son of Man.
Right. So in the midst of the 7 candlesticks, those 7 candlesticks are the 7 schools that were set up, right? The 7 churches, the seven places of teaching. If you wanted to learn the law, you wanted to be a priest, right? The Son of Man. That's letting you know that's Yahushua. It says Son of Man because he was born by a man, right? A man teared fire to his mother to put him in a womb.
Right.
He didn't want to be like the angels. He wanted to be born like his brethren, right? Because what the Christian church is going to turn around and tell you is, listen, you don't have to keep the law because only a special person could keep the law, someone who wasn't of this world. That's the lie that they're going to teach you, and we're here right now to dispel all lies. That's what we do. That's our job. We dispel all the lies of the Christian church. Listen, there's a veil over your eyes. That's what we're uncovering right now, right? Keep reading, Baba Kasha.
Come on, priest. Clothed with a garment down to the foot and girt
Right.
upon the
Khan. He had a garment down to the foot. If you could just go through any UPK video, check out a Sabbath service, check out a Passover, check out any of the high holy days, any of the camp speakings, you'll see men with garments down to the foot. Right. Check us out on Saturdays, 12 p.m. We got Sabbath services. You'll see us with garments down to the foot, right? And a girt about the paps. That was a war belt. It was golden, right? Because this was a king. Right. This was a king, and he wasn't on the throne at the moment, but he's coming back to be on that throne. Hey, shalom, sis. Congratulations on that name, Yahweh Shemar Lathan Ba'Shem Yahshai. Right. Let's get it. Baba Kasha.
Come on, priest. Verse 14. His head and his hairs were white like wool.
Right. So now you're finding out that the son of man, right? The Lord's chosen, his first creation, he has hair like wool as well. Right. And again, there's only one people in the earth with hair like wool, and that's blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Right. Listen, there's no other nation that could. Have you seen? Now listen, a Hamite can grow some hair, but it's not the same. It's not the same as how the Levites or the Benjamites or how Judah, how Manasseh, how Asher can grow their hair. It's not the same like how Zebulon can grow their hair, right? But our king, he had hair like wool. We have hair like wool. This is the history that they're beating out, that they beat out of us. They did a successful job at it.
Right.
1 second. Hold up. Hey, Shalom Aki, Al Bashim Yashar Barakatham. Right, we're going into that we are the Israelites, we're not Africans. That's what today's topic is. We're going to be breaking down color scriptures because a lot of people don't think there's color in the Bible, and we're here to dispel that. It's hard to walk into a brother's house, a sister's house, especially when you see an old Benjamite sister and she got that Caesar Borgia up there. Good night. That's like you know you trying to talk to her now. You're gonna have the battle. You're gonna have to battle. She has demons on her, Salakia. But we're here to battle our sisters. Well, not to say battle our sisters, but battle whatever demons they have to bring them home.
Right.
Right. So let's get it. Officer Adiyar, if you could, Baba Kasha.
Come, please. As white as snow, and his eyes were as a flame of fire.
Right. Now Yahushua, his hair was white as snow. You might have some oppressors that are gonna try to make it look like his head was white as snow, and they're gonna try to use that to run with he was Caesar Borgia. But that's not what this is talking about. Have you ever seen a older brother? Right? There's a saying that the gray hairs is the wisdom, and Christ was wise. Right? His hair was white as snow. right? But that's just like that's an old Benjamite, old Judah saying, right? And his eyes were as a flame of fire, right? Now let's get down to the kicker. We're gonna get down to the kicker, right? Read 15, Baba Kasha.
Come on, priest. Verse 15. And his feet like unto fine brass.
Right. Read that one more time.
Come on, priest. Verse 15. And his feet like unto fine brass.
Right. His feet were like onto fine brass. Anybody can answer. What is the color of brass?
Black and brown, I one.
Come on, let's get that trooper a hand. Brown is the color of brass, right? And it said fine brass, right? Let's keep reading.
Come on, priest. As if they burned in a furnace.
Right. And if you put anything in a furnace, it turns darker. Brass
Right.
is brown, and it said he was brown like he burned in a furnace. Last time I checked, my feet match my face. Right. Look at that right there, right? That's brass, but it was fine brass, like it burned in a furnace. Christ was a dark man, right? Christ was a dark-skinned brother from the tribe of Judah. You could damn near say Yahushua was Wesley Snipes dark,
Right.
right? And our dark is just it's a different kind of dark. That dark is beautiful. It's lovely, right? We got brothers and sisters who are running around trying to they be running around, especially on this island that I'm on right here. They be running around trying to bleach their skin,
Good night.
not embracing the jewel of the skin tone that the Most High gave them. Right? There's oppressors' daughters running and spending thousands of dollars trying to get your skin tone. Embrace your skin tone. Give me one moment. You have to embrace your skin tone, right? So let's as if it burned in a furnace, right? You can finish out that verse, Babu Kasha.
Come on, priest. And his voice as the sound of many waters.
And his voice was the sound of many waters. That brother spoke with authority. He spoke when he spoke, you listened. Right. This ain't the Caesar Borgia that they're painting, that sissy. This is not Salakia. This is not a weak man. This is a man that took strings and made a court and whipped people out of the temple and turned over tables. That's our king. Right? That's the king for us. Right? So let's read something right quick. Salakia. Give me one moment. Officer Adiyar Babaka Shah, I might have to step away for one quick second. Can you break down Daniel 10, 5, and 6, Babaka Shah?
Come on, priest.
I'll be right back. Tawada.
Hey, Shalom, Israel. Yahbashim Yoshabak Katam. I'm also 1,000 out of y'all taking over for also 1,000's budget. Chuba Barakela, can you bring me to the verse, Bob question? You understand, man? Just like we seen with officers of Badger, you understand? Christ was a black man, man. You understand? Like we brought up to, you understand, in the Christian church thinking that the white man is Jesus, right? The white man is Jesus, and kind of find out. You open up this Bible, you see that the Jews are black. You see that Christ is a Jew. You understand? He was black. You understand? But all our life, you understand, we're gonna learn that Christ is white and everything. But we have to understand to destroy the lies of the Christian church. When you go in Russia, when you go in Europe, you could still see, you understand, that they have the image of a black Christ. Why? Because Christ was a black man. And just like also the Bible is showing you, you understand, all this Bible is about you, black, Hispanics, and Native Indian, man. This Bible is about you, man. You know, you better take this Bible, hold it up close, run with it, man. You understand? Because this Bible belongs to us. This is our book, man. This doesn't belong to the white man. The white man didn't give us this Bible in slavery. He used our record, man. You understand? Go ahead when you have it, priest.
Daniel chapter 10, verse 5. Then I lift up mine eyes and looked, and behold, a certain man clothed in linen,
You understand? Now this is a vision that Daniel is having, right? This is a vision that he has. Now he look up in the sky in this vision, and he sees somebody in the sky, right? He see an old man in the sky. Go ahead.
whose loins were girded with fine gold of Uphaz,
You understand? He had a war belt on. You understand? Just like Christ had a war belt. That man, you understand? That image, you understand? That person that he's looking at has a war belt. You understand? Glorious, man. You understand? And just to let you know that you understand, your God is not sissified like the Christian church will make you want to believe. God is a man of war. The Lord is a man of war, man. God is about war. You understand? When you look at this book, you understand, you see war all over, man. Why? Because we are people, you understand, we are about war. You understand? This is what, man. You understand? You're not gonna win over your demon just by sitting down and praying, Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. You gotta fight them, man. You gotta fight that lust that's inside of you, man. Go ahead.
verse 6. His
Mhm.
body also was like the beryl,
Go ahead.
and his face
Uh,
as
uh,
the appearance of
so,
lightning.
Salak, warrior. I pass the class back to Officer 1000 Zabaji.
The water, the water. Let me catch up right with you. We were right in Daniel 10.
Verse 6. It was about to read verse 6.
All right, Trooper, you got it.
Daniel chapter 10, verse 6. His body also was like the beryl, and his face as the appearance of lightning,
Keep reading.
and his eyes as lamps of fire.
Right. So we start to see the same theme, right? As Yahushua as a revering man, and his lamps, his eyes are like lamps of fire, man. He had red eyes. Yahushua, he drank, right? This is another clue because when blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, when we drink, our eyes turn red, right? And he was a fierce man to look at. Keep reading.
His and his arms and his feet like in color to polished brass,
Wait. Run that back. His arms and his feet look like what?
and his arms and his feet like in color to polished brass.
So we know brass is brown. So if we read it again, we have the understanding that his arms and his feet, like in color, they were the same color as brown. That's what that's telling you. This is the things your teacher, your pastors don't want to tell you that, right? You want to come to the UPK to get the correct breakdowns of these scriptures. If you're lost in the world and you want to know who you are, you got to come home, right? You can finish it out.
And the voice of
Can you one more time, Baba Kasha? You were breaking up.
and the voice of his words like the voice of a multitude.
And he had a deep voice. He was a brother that spoke with authority. His voice was deep, right? This is what Daniel saw, right? So I'm gonna now read you something. I'm gonna now read you something from a book because they're gonna ask you again. This is the question that's gonna come up when you battle these people, when you battle a Christian, when you battle a brother in the world, right? Especially a brother in the world that believes he's African. The question is gonna come up: how did we get to Africa? You want to have these in your in. Listen, this right here. This is one sword, right? You want to have a arsenal of weapons. So now we just don't go into the scriptures and use the scriptures alone. We use history and other books as well to back up who we are, right? So I'm going to take you to Babylon to Timbuktu, right? You're going to go to the 84th page, and I'm going to read something for you right quick because this is going to explain how we got into Africa, right? What we were doing in Africa, why we were there, right? And then you have to ask yourself, why would a people sell their own people? It doesn't make sense, right? But let me find out. Let me find out. Maybe I'm lost. Maybe I just don't understand. But officer Adiyar, would you sell your brother?
Priest.
uh, Officer Adiyar said he's not going to sell his brother. Let me find out. 1 second. Officer Adiyar, would you sell? And let's not even just say brother, because you know brothers in the world are going to be like, well, that he didn't come out of his mom. Would you sell another Haitian man that you've never met before?
La, please.
Right. No brother is doing that. Like even when brothers go to blows, they're not trying to. They're not always trying to kill each other. It's just a fight. No one's really trying to sell a next man into slavery, but you would sell your enemy into slavery.
Right.
That's what would happen. A enemy would sell you into slavery, right? So let's figure this out. Babylon to Timbuktu, page 84. In the year 65 BC, the Roman armies under General Pompey captured Jerusalem. Captured. That doesn't sound friendly. That sounds like torture, murder, rape, robbery, houses burning down when you go and capture a city. Right? So the Roman armies came and captured Jerusalem. In 70 AD, General Vespasian and his son, Titus, put an end to the Jewish state. So Jerusalem was operating on its own. This general and his son put an end to that, right? With great slaughter, right? With great slaughter. Slovakia. Slovakia, I'm back. Officer Adiyar, that what you sent me, if it pertains to what we're talking about now, you could bring it out whenever you want.
Come, please.
Right, I'm going to finish reading this. With great slaughter, right? So the Romans put the Jewish state to an end, right? So this is a state of Israelites, right? A place where the Roman army was taking over the whole world, right? So they were operating by themselves, and the Romans put that to an end with great slaughter. Slaughter means death. Let's keep going because it gets worse. During the period of the military governors of Palestine, many outrages and atrocities were committed. Right. So outrages and atrocities were committed. That's another way of saying rape, murder, pillaging, torture, just they treated us like dogs. They treated us like inhumanes. You watch the movie Gladiator, you seen people fighting in those coliseums, in those pits. That was us. I'm gonna show you because you might not believe it, and I understand you've been taught lies your whole life. You've been Slovakia, spoon-fed lies your whole life,
Right.
right? So now we're gonna shatter those lies. We might need to chip away at it one lie at a time. So that's what we're gonna do. Where were we? So these atrocities, many outrages and atrocities were committed against the residue of the people, right? During the period from Pompey to Julius, it had been estimated that over 1 million Jews fled into Africa, fleeing from Roman persecution. I'm going to say that one more time. During the period from Pompey to Julius, it is estimated that over 1 million Jews fled into Africa, fleeing from Roman persecution and slavery. The slave markets were full of black Jewish slaves. Now that there you have your answer for how we got into Africa, how we got into the west of Africa. We were running from our oppressor. Nothing has changed because we're still running from our oppressor today. And those of us that it's sad because what happens is you chase a man and you beat him down so much he's eventually going to conform, and that's what we see happening. That's what we see happening. We see our people teaching our children lies. New Year's, Christmas, birthdays, everything, right? You see the lies that our people are going through, and because you don't know who you are, you think it's wise to go and brothers are selling drugs and killing each other. Our sisters are damn near whoring themselves out, and they think it's wise. That's only because they don't know who they are, and that is it's the rawest way to say it, right? We have so many broken homes because we don't know who we are, right? So that again shows you how we got into Africa. Let's go into some more. Where are we? We're going to go into some more color scriptures, right? Trooper Brachiola, can you get Ezekiel 1 verse 5?
Wakan. This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 1, verse 5. Also, out of the midst thereof came the likeness of 4 living creatures.
Right. You know what? Let's for time's sake, when you go to verse 4, you find out that this is Ezekiel seeing a flying saucer, right? And he's seeing the chariots of the Most High. Like lately, they've been coming out that UFOs are real. In the UPK, we call them IFOs. We've identified them. They are the chariots of the Most High. If you read verse 4 in Ezekiel 1, the first chapter of Ezekiel, you'll see that it's talking about a flying saucer, right? You can keep reading, Brachiola.
And this was their appearance. They had the likeness of a man.
Right. So, one second. Right. So they have the likeness of a man, right? These are the living creatures that are coming out of this wheel, out of this whirlwind, right? Keep reading.
Verse 6. And everyone had 4 faces, and everyone had 4 wings.
Right. So you're seeing that this is a creature that looks like a man with 4 faces. Now, I don't know about y'all, but if I seen that, I'm getting my sprint on, right? I'm hightailing it out of there, right? And that would be the reaction of every brother who's not in this truth, right? And here we're gonna know that is a angel from the Most High, right? 4 wings, and it had 4 faces, right? Keep reading.
Verse 7. And their feet were straight feet, and the
Keep reading.
sole of their feet was like the sole of a calf's foot.
Their feet were like straight feet because this is how they look. They all went the same way, right? They all did the same thing. Keep reading.
And they sparkled like the color of burnished brass.
They did what?
And they sparkled like the color of burnished brass.
Again, we're getting that same theme. They were brown. So there you have it. The angels are black. The Lord is black. Salakia, let me do this in rank and order. The Lord is black, Christ is black, and the angels are black. That this is something you're not going to get from your Christian church. Where are we going? Where are we going? You know what? Officer RDR, do you have a Zondervan's Pictorial Bible with you? The Zondervan's Pictorial Bible Dictionary?
Come, please.
Can you get me Ham, Bubba Shah?
Come, please.
Right. Give me one moment while you get that. Salaki, I'm back.
Come. I got it right here for you, priest.
You can read it when you're ready.
Come. Out of the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary, Ham, the youngest son of Noah, born probably about 96 years before the flood, and one of the 8 persons that to live through the flood. He became the progenitor of the dark races, not the Negroes.
Right. So hold that right there. This is a book written by our oppressors, right?
Right,
And he's telling you that Ham is a son of Noah. He survived the flood, right? He is the progenitor of dark races, but not the Negroes. That's interesting because that's not the narrative that they teach us in church, right? And all this stuff is right here for you to see, right? It's gonna tell us who Ham's children are, right? And you're gonna find out that we're left off that list. So let's keep reading. Baba Kashar.
come, please. But the Egyptians, Ethiopians, Libyans, and Canaanites.
Right, which would be more South Africans, more other Africans. He's the father of Africans, right? But above it said not the Negroes. So who are we? That's the question, right? So we're teaching you who we are. You're finding out that color is in the Bible. We are the Israelites of the Bible. Salakia. Let's get Jeremiah 14:2.
So,
Khan.
Salaki priest, if I may just add the
Fine.
thing that I wanted to bring,
Oh
just like
yeah,
it
yeah.
says, not the to what priest, just like it says, not the Negroes. You understand? You never see Africans say, I am a Negro.
Right,
They might say I am black nowadays because they want to mingle with us, but you never ever I heard an African say I am Negro.
right.
Yeah? And then come to find out, there's map when you could find out. You understand? In Africa, they had Negro land. You understand? Where we used to say. You understand? And this is something from the Louisiana State University. All right, I'm gonna read it for
Con,
y'all.
sir.
Creole New Orleans, Race and Americanization. It did it, edited by R.H. and Joseph Logsdon. Published by Louisiana State University in 1992, Baton Rouge and London. Page 67 and 69. Page 67. 16 slave trading ships arrived from the Senegal region. 6 ships came from Judah and landed at the mouth of the Mississippi. And in 1731, 1 ship from Judah landed 464 slaves at the mouth of the Mississippi. Page 69. It states that the Company of India had a trading post at Judah with all the nation of Europe. And after that, it's going to give you a chart, right? The chart is down
Salakia, sir.
there. It's
Salakia,
gonna,
Officer RDR.
uh,
What was the name of that company?
it's not, it's edited by, the book is a Race and Americanization, edited
Oh,
by
okay.
R. and Joseph Logsdon.
Salakia. I was talking about there was you when you were reading it said I think it said India, a company in India, a trading company.
So, like, I'm gonna read it again. They had a trading post over there. It states that the Company of India had a trading post of Judah with all the nation of Europe.
Right. That's heavy because many people think that the East the Elamites, the East Indians love us, right? When they had a hand in our slavery as well.
Right.
And you could see how they deal with us. They have brown skin too. Their brown is not like the brown that you see on a sister walking down the street that makes you crash your car. Listen, boy, I'm just gonna leave it at that. Don't be crashing your cars out here, brother. That's why they don't have the brown that the sisters have when they be walking by the camp spot, and you got to keep the shades on. You got to keep the shades on like blinders. You can't even look at it because you on your job, right? But Salakia, you can keep going.
So, like, I was just gonna show some on the chart. Below on the chart, like you see it's highlighted in yellow. It says
Right.
total Hebrews imported. And after that, at the end, it says 1,749 black Jews transported to Louisiana between 1719 to 1728. So this is in the university, man. You understand? Like what Officers of Budget bring it to you is the truth, man. They know this. They hid the truth from us. Now you getting back your nationality. What are you gonna say? You African? Why, you understand? In the university, they know exactly who we are. They know that we are Hebrews. They know that we are Israelite. They know we are the real Jews. You understand? So like a priest.
No, that was definitely a heavy article. Thawada for sending it to me.
Yeah.
That's definitely a heavy article because they damn well know who we are. They've always known we are. If you keep searching, you're gonna find ledgers with our names on it. You're gonna see Hebrew
Right.
names. Right here, Harriet Tubman had a Hebrew name. Her family came out and said she knew who she was. Right. That's why they called her Moses, because they knew who you were. We were singing songs. You hear the slave songs. They would sing "Swing Low, Sweet Chariots." What
Right.
do they know about the chariots? They know that the angels come through on these chariots, these saucers, right? It's written in the prophecies. It's written in the scriptures, right? Those same angels, they're the ones that's bringing the curses. You see the transformer tearing up everything. I heard they're locking down everything again, right? I won't be surprised if I come back up there and I'm being told that I have to be inside at a certain time, right? Because that
Salaka,
transformer is tearing everything up. So,
we already have a curfew in Montreal.
Khan, you're saying it's already happening in Montreal? They put a curfew in again.
Kana Wakan,
What time is the curfew now?
10 o'clock.
10 o'clock, right? Well, that's the same thing down here. I'm in the island of Jamaica, a beautiful place outside of all the oppression that you see, right? Which is sponsored by all the nations, especially the Canadian government, right? It's a beautiful place, but it still has a 10 o'clock curfew, right? That Omnitron, that transformer is tearing things up, right? So let's get back to where we were. Baba Kashad, do you have Jeremiah 14:2?
Kana Wakan.
Right, let's get it. Let me catch up with you right quick before you drop it. All right, you can read it.
It's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 14, verse 2. Judah mourneth, and the gates thereof languish. They are black unto the ground,
Keep reading.
and the cry of Jerusalem is gone up.
Right. So this is bedrock UPK breakdowns. Right. This is a bedrock UPK scripture. We've been using this scripture saying that the Jews are black in the streets since 1969. Right. When you walk through, like, if you ever seen those Hasidic Jews or you've seen those Orthodox, they run around 30 degrees weather wearing all black because the scriptures tell you that the Jews are black. Right, so the scriptures are telling you that the Jews are black, and they're trying their best to mimic because they're carnal. So they put on all black because they're mourning. But how the hell are you in mourning when you own all the TV stations, you own all the diamonds, you own all the banking in the world? How can you be in mourning? America is giving Israel, them fake Jews over in Israel, they're giving them billions of dollars yearly. How are you in mourning? Right, you can't tell me you're in mourning over 6 million. Well, if you're mourning over 6 million, I should be in damn near tears because 99 million of plus of my people, and that's just the so-called Negroes alone, were murdered. We're not even talking about the so-called Hispanics and the so-called Native Americans. They're still digging up children. They're gonna still be digging up children in Canada, from Kamloops to wherever you go in Canada. You could probably dig and find the bones of Gadites. Right, and if you do the autopsies on that bones, you'll find out that, listen, some trauma happened to that guy, right? Like, you could, Salakia. Um, so there was a picture I wanted to pull up, but I won't be able to pull it up, but you could just go Google the Jewish man when he puts the scriptures and he ties it to his head. So what, because they're carnal. They where the scriptures tell you to bind the law to your hands, bind the law to your hands and to your head. They literally write, they say they wrote it, but they write on a small little piece of paper, right, the books of Moses, and they tie it to a block and put it on their head because they're carnal. But let's read this one more time, because this is telling you that the Jews are black. These are color scriptures that you want to be taking notes. You want to be writing these down. Read it one more time.
Khan. Jeremiah chapter 14, verse 2. Judah mourneth.
Right. Judah's mourning because Judah has gone through, and this is Israel. We've gone through so much tragedy. We're in constant mourning, right? You could go check it out on this same page. There's a little video of Gadites. Now, these Gadites, we might have to do a reaction to this, right? But these Gadites, they're protesting with their oppressors, but they're in such mourning that they feel they have to protest with their oppressors. They're broken down so much that they don't know who they are, right? So they feel they have to protest with their oppressors because they're in mourning. They're begging the RCMP to come off their land. What they need to do is they need to get with Commanding General YAHANNA, right? Hey, shalom, sis. Jules Charms. Thwada for tuning in. Again, if you're watching this, like, subscribe, share this to everywhere. Do that first. As soon as you come in, like, subscribe, and share this video. Right. So Judah mourneth. Keep reading.
And the gates thereof languish.
Right. Our gates, our protection, our strongholds. The you have a gate in your yard to keep things out. Right. Our gates. Who would be? They were supposed to be. They were the leaders of the time. Right. They languish. Right. Keep reading.
Somebody have to step
Salaki.
out on one.
Khan, I couldn't hear you. You were breaking up. Can you read it one more time?
There are
Right. Salaki, I can't hear you for time's sake. I'm gonna read it. They are black unto the ground. Right. And the cry of Jerusalem has gone up. That's because we're going through it, right? We're going through it. So the cries of us have gone up. We're black unto the ground. Let's get Songs of Solomon. We're gonna go through a couple more color scriptures so I can show you color all throughout this Bible, so they'll never tell you again that you're an African, that you're an African American, that you're an African Canadian, that you're just a nigger, right? And listen, I take that with pride. You call me a nigger, that you damn right. That's Mr. Nigger to you, because soon you're gonna have to be calling me Mr. Nigger, sir, straight up and down. And the greatest thing about that word, that our oppressors are so stupid that they didn't realize them calling us that word proves exactly who we are. And I'm gonna show you, right? You're going to find out that that word proves us to be who we say we are, the Israelites of this Bible. Right. So let me get you Songs of Solomon. Now, these Songs of Solomon, I tell you, it's something different, right? Hold up, let me get with it. Right, and if you're tuning in, don't forget Commander Johnny Yohana is going live tonight at 9 o'clock. He'll be going live tonight at 9 o'clock. Black Watch, right? Black Watch News, Black Watch News, Black Watch News. Commander General Yohana will be going live tonight at 9 o'clock. So, okay, let me get these songs right quick. One moment, bear with me. Salakia, Officer RDR, you're back.
Come on, I'm here, please.
Can you get me Songs of Solomon, Baba Kasha?
Come on, please. I got it, please.
Khan. I want 1 verse 5, Baba Kasha.
Come on. Song of Solomon, chapter 1, verse 5. I am black, but comely.
Right. So even Solomon's telling you, I'm black but beautiful. Now listen, you're gonna have some hated Christian. He's gonna come around and tell you that that was the woman saying it. You just ask him to prove it to you. Tell him to show it to you. He's not going to be able to show it to you. He's not going to be able to say how we got that understanding. I had a battle with two effeminate Christians one night, right? And this one Christian, he had on tassels, right? He had on tassels, and he said, "Well, this is talking about the woman." And I said, "How is this talking about the woman?" He said, "Because it is." So I said, "Can you even show it to me in the Hebrew breakdown if the word is plural or if it's feminine or masculine?" He said, "La." He didn't even say that. He said he just switched the subject, right? So now when he tried to continue to say that it's no, it's still the woman. It's Solomon and the woman going back and forth. Okay, Solomon and the woman going back and forth, but it's still Solomon saying, "I'm black." I asked him now, "How did you come to this understanding?" He said, "The Lord showed it to me."
Good night.
I said, "All right, good night." Because really, his Lord is the oppressor. This is something
Right.
the oppressors have been saying. That's who his Lord is. His Lord is the oppressor, right? The Caucasian man is his God, right? Can you read that one more time?
Come on, priest. Song of Solomon, chapter 1, verse 5. I am
Right.
black, but comely.
Right. He said, "I'm black but beautiful." Listen, black man, Hispanic man, Native American man, black woman, black Hispanic women, Native American women, as well as the children. You are beautiful. You are black and you're proud. Even though you're Native American, you are still black. You go through the same curses as we do. Right. And that we're gonna break that down. We got a few more things to break down because we're gonna go through these curses just because there's color scriptures. Now you pull these color scriptures, the Christian is gonna say, that's not what it's talking about. You're misinterpreting, you're misrepresenting. So we're gonna say, okay, well, the Israelites were supposed to go through some curses, so we're gonna get to that too. And then I have another breakdown, right? Shout out to Captain Mashak Mayum, because he gave this breakdown. It's excellent. I'm gonna try to do my best with it, right? That's one thing that you gotta love about this UPK. It's full of excellent brothers and excellent brotherhood. And any question you have, you can get the answer, right? And
Right.
listen, you just type it in. There's a video for it.
Khan,
Salakia. There's a class every day, 7 p.m., 5 p.m., 3 p.m., depending on where you are, depending on your zone and your region, right? So let's get some more. Brachiala, get me Droves 30 and 30, Bokshah.
Khan. Job chapter 30, verse 30. My skin is black upon me,
Wait, Job said what?
and my bones are burnt.
Wait, 1 second, 1 second, 1 second,
Salakia.
1 second. Read that one more time.
Job chapter 30, verse 30. My skin is black upon me.
So Job said his skin is black upon him, right? If you don't know this, Job was someone that the Most High, he had favor with the Most High. He was doing everything that the Most High wanted him to do. Then the Most High put him through a test, and he passed that test, right? But he said his skin is black upon him. Now Christians are going to turn around and say this is the curse. He's They're saying he's cursed, he was going through something, but that's not what this is. He's telling you right here that his skin is black upon him, right? Keep reading.
And my bones are burnt with heat.
Right. He's telling you how dark he is. Right. Now there you name a curse where a man is alive and he knows that his bones are dark with heat. Right. Because a Christian might try to say, like, oh, he was going through a curse and that's why he's saying he's black. Right. But that's not what that's talking about. Right. Job is telling you that he's black. We've showed you so much color in this Bible. You can't deny who you are. You can't say you don't know who you are. If you ask your Christian pastor who you are, he's going to lie to you. He's going to say you're a Gentile. Right? Barak Allah, let's get to this now. This is my favorite scripture. I like to read this one at camp a lot. Right? Barak Allah, get me Acts 13:1. Salakia. If y'all got anything y'all want to add, you already know, Barak Allah, you want to say something, you don't just have to read, right? you can say some stuff too. So if y'all want to add anything to this class, feel free.
Come on, please.
Chapter 31. Now they were in the church that was at Antioch, certain prophets and teachers, as Barnabas and Simeon, that was
Right.
called
So hold that right there.
Niger.
Hold that right there. Right. So in this church, there were teachers like Barnabas and Simeon. Right. These are Israelite men. They were the teachers. Right. But this is also going to describe them. Right. There are people who are going to describe them by their color. Right. And this is what I said. When they call us this word, take it as a badge of honor because it describes who you are. It lets you know that you are an Israelite. So let's keep reading.
And Lucius of Cyrene, and brought up with Herod, the tetrarch, and Saul.
Salakia, read that one more time. You're breaking up.
Lucius of Cyrene, and Manaen, which had been brought
Keep
up with
reading.
Herod, the tetrarch.
Keep reading.
Verse 2. As they ministered
1 second. 1 second. Let me
and
get with you.
fasted.
Read it. Read verse 1 one more time. Let me get with you right quick. One moment. Give me one moment, Baba Shah. All right, you can read it one more time.
Acts. Now they were in the church that was at Antioch, servants and teachers, Barnabas, Simeon, that was called Niger.
Right. So they call these men nigger. Right. We're just gonna say it like the Europeans say it, right? Because this is what they call them. They call them. It's a Latin word, Niger. It means black, right? The English that we speak, majority of the languages around the world come from the Latin, right? Especially if it's a European language. That Spanish, it comes from Latin, the Greek, the French, the English, right? In English, black is noir, right? Salakia. In French, black is noir. In Latin, is Niger, right? The Europeans turned around and called us nigger. They didn't realize that wiping out our history, you still calling us the words that you called us in the Bible, that that we're gonna retain it, right? And now daily, black, Hispanic, and Native Americans, they run around and call each other nigger.
Right.
Right. 1 second, let's get back to it. Right. This is what they call us. We didn't call call each other that. They called us this. It's stuck, and now they can't take it away. They can't take it away. They can't act like they weren't doing it. Right? Read that part one more time. As Barnabas.
Khan. As Barnabas and I was called Niger.
Right. That's what they called us. They called us Niger. You flash forward to 2021. Whenever an oppressor is mad at you, he calls you nigger. He'll be quick to call you nigger. He won't even hesitate. Even when you think he's your friend, my best bud. We go to the bar and have drinks together. As soon as he's mad, oh, you're just a dirty nigger. Right. There was some politician that came out, I think somewhere in America. Her car was getting. She's not even a politician. She's a judge. She has the power to sentence a man to 20 days, no time, or life in jail. Right. Her car was being robbed, and the first thing out of her mouth was that nigger. Look at this nigger breaking into my car. Right. Okay. Well, guess what? The prophets were called nigger. Guess what? Those prophets were Israelites, right? The Israelites ran into West Africa, right? Khan.
I don't see They call the African niggas. You understand? They call them African. You understand? They call them African. They call us niggas, but they call the Africans. You understand?
Right.
So even men know there's a difference between us niggas and the Africans. They might do so for right now, so when they're next to us, but they don't call each other niggas. Understand? So like a priest. So, you understand? So like a priest.
Okay, the dogs are going at it right now. So okay, but yeah, they don't call Africans niggas at all. They call us niggas. They call us the worst names you could think possible, right? And even Africans, they have a word for us. They call us a kata. Right. Some of them might try to simple it up and put a little sugar and sprinkles on it and say, oh, it just describes you because you don't have a home. Right. They'll say a cat without a home. But at the end of the day, they're calling us niggers too.
Right.
Right. So now, as I said, let's get into it. Or if you're looking for other precepts for color, you can the speckled bird, right? Where it says Israel is a speckled bird. Its heritage is onto it like a speckled bird, right? But we're gonna go into some of these curses now. While we go into this last hour, this last little bit of time, we're gonna go into these curses that are gonna befall Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, right? So let's get into some of these curses. Officer Adiyar, Baba Kasha, can you get me Jeremiah 17:4, Baba Kasha?
Come on, please.
And Trooper Barakiala, hold Deuteronomy 28. Let me get with you right quick, Officer Adiyar. We're gonna start 17 verse 4. Right, because this is powerful. As we said, we're going into curses because now I have to show you that it's not just color, but Israel is going to go through a specific set of events that's gonna change who they, not to say change who they are, but it's gonna lead to us being in the position that we're in now, right? And what really happens is, listen, when you don't keep the Father's commandments, you go through it. Right? You're gonna go through it like any father. You tell your child, listen, you gotta do this and this and this. You gotta come in, do your homework, clean the kitchen. You have to be in at a certain time. You have to keep your room clean. Those are laws in your house. Well, the Lord gave us laws too. The Lord is our Father. He gave us laws. We got to stick to these laws. What's happening is we're not sticking to these laws. We're going through those punishments. Here's the good thing. Those punishments that it's about time that it's done, right? And now it's about time that the truth comes back into the earth, and it's time for you to wake up, Right now, the heathens are about to be punished, and you can see it. Listen, again, that transformer, man. I'm telling you, that transformer is turning to Megatron. It's like
Right.
Autobots roll out, right? Autobots roll out, and the angels are up there. They keep saying that they see UFOs. What are the UFOs doing? More variants. That's what it seems like. It seems like the UFOs are sending more variants, right?
Right.
I wonder if we can find that in the scripture, right?
Come,
But we'll save that for another class because you could definitely find that in the scripture. So
come,
where are we? We're at Jeremiah 17:4.
come, please. Jeremiah chapter 17, verse 4. And thou, even thyself, shalt discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee.
Right. This is the Lord telling us that we're going to discontinue from my heritage. Right. To continue means to keep going. Discontinue means you're going to lose your heritage. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. What happened when the oppressor stepped off those ships? We lost our heritage. Right. I remember I pulled this on a Christian, and this Christian, good night. We were in the clubhouse and I was talking, and like this Christian, he could not get the hate for his brothers out of his heart. This Christian hated his brothers so much he would not even let this scripture be read. Right. And even when I said Israel discontinued from their heritage, he said, well, that happened already. I said, yeah, it did happen. It was called slavery. Right. He said, no, it happened
Right.
back then. I said, okay, even if it did happen back then, prophecies are manifold.
Come,
They happen. Right. The curses are manifold. It doesn't have to happen in this time. Right. Yeah. We can continue reading this. Baba
come,
Kasha.
please. And I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not.
Canada.
For ye have come. For in the land that knowest not.
Right. Canada, Jamaica, Australia, United Kingdom, just everywhere. The United States, Haiti, Dominican Republic. Listen, the oppressor is such a evil bastard. He went to an island where brothers were and he divided them.
Right.
Right. To a point where you'll see the tribe of Simeon, who are the Dominican Republics, and you'll see the tribe of Levi, who are the Haitians, right? They have to make campaigns to say, listen, we got to come together. When they were together before, they damn near fought the French off together.
So like a priest.
Concert.
So in that verse, like even for that Christian for next time, right? Like it says in the land that they know it's not. Well, Israel knew Babylon, they knew Assyria. So if
Right,
it happened already, you understand which land did it the Israelite didn't know back in the days where they went into
right,
slavery. So that's not even talking back in the day. That's talking about the future. That's talking about us in America today. Because we
right,
didn't know America. We weren't in America. We was in Africa. So if
right,
that happened back in the days, then you Babylon, then you understand the Babylon Empire, then you Assyria, then you all around Asia and even up north. So you understand?
right,
So even that will cut up that part right there cut up the Christians that would say that happened already. So like it, so
right.
like
And
priest.
so and that's exactly why I pulled it, right? Because I knew it was gonna cut. And listen, he got in his emotions. Long story short, that he's just a Christian. He hates his brother. He was with a fake camp. The fake camps make you hate your brothers even more. And then when you see the real thing, if you're too weak, too effeminate, you're just not gonna get with the real thing anyways, right? So, Laki, was that the end of the verse?
La priest.
We can keep going.
Come on, priest. For ye have kindled a fire in mine anger, which shall burn forever.
Right, and this is what's happening, right? The Lord said, listen, his fire is kindled, right? And because we were in sin, because we were sinning, because we were doing everything we're not supposed to do, he just put us away for a time. That time is back. Like, listen, this happens a lot, right? Your child, Now, all parents. If you're a parent and you have a child over a certain age, this might happen, especially when you're in the world and you might not do it the right way, but it happens, right? You're gonna kick that child out the house, right? The Lord kicked us out of His house. That's what happened to us. We lost our heritage. We were kicked out of the house. He seen us suffering. He heard us crying. He said, "You know what? It's time for you to come back home." He sent men in the earth, right, to speak this truth on a corner. And one day, Commander General YAHANNA heard it. He heard it, and he got in all black. He got in those ranks, and he built himself up and held on strong onto this truth. And now he's raising up. Listen, he raised up Officer Adiyar. He raised up myself, Trooper Barakiala. He raised up Officer Bond, right? And that's who we spoke it to when we were coming into this truth, right? So it's time for that truth to be coming right back into the earth. We know our heritage now. We know who we are. We're not Africans. Don't you can skip me with the bullshit. That's what it is, right? Skip me with the bullshit. Salakia. Right. So let's go into it. We're gonna go into Deuteronomy, some of these curses, try to go through some of these curses real quick, and then we're gonna go back into the last part of my topic. So Baraki Allah, if you have Deuteronomy 28 and verse 1, you can read it.
Wakana. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
Right. So this is Moses giving the children of Israel the words of the Most High. The Most High said, "Listen, and I'm gonna give you rulership over everything." Right. That's what we just read. Listen, and I'll give you rulership. Right. Jump down to verse 15, Baba Kasha.
Verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God,
Right.
to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command
Go
thee
ahead.
this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
Right. So Moses also said, when he was talking to us, he said, "Listen, you listen or go through the curses, go through the punishment." Right. It's cake or the belt. Right. Do you want to eat the cake or do you want the belt? And those are our options. Right. That cake being rulership over the earth. Right. But Israel being hard-headed and stiff-necked, we chose the belt, and now we live in the worst conditions. We live in the most dangerous neighborhoods. We go through the most stress. We have the most disease. Our houses are breaking at drastically alarming rates. Our brothers are being murdered in the streets. Our sisters are whoring. Our sisters are going missing. There is just so much things that we're going through, right? And you know what? You could find this in this chapter right here. Everything I just said, you could find it in this chapter right here. So we're going to go through some of these curses. Right. So you could jump down to 29.
Deuteronomy chapter 20, verse 9. And thou shalt grope at noondays,
Right. So
as
we're,
the
we're
blind
gonna
gropeth
we're
in the
gonna
dark,
so like yeah, we're going to be in mourning, right? Keep reading.
and thou shalt not prosper in thy ways,
Right. So we're gonna
and
as the
thou shalt
blind grope in the darkness, right? And we're not gonna prosper in our ways, right? So the things that we do it's not gonna work. Like, listen, rap music is a black art form. We do not own it, right? And in the 80s or whenever Prince was alive, he was crying for his masters. His master is that copy of the music that comes fresh out the studio, the rough copy, the copy that you're gonna print so many times, right? He was crying for those because his, what's that say? Read that one more time. Where were we? 29. Thou shalt not prosper in their ways. Read that.
And thou shalt not ways.
Right, we're not going to prosper in our ways. The things that we do is not going to work out for us. We had Black Wall Street. It did not work out. They bombed it. We had so many places. We have, listen, there are so many black towns that have just been destroyed. If you go back through our history classes, you'll find the massacre tapes that we were doing, right? And you'll find out that all these places were being destroyed because we weren't prospering in our ways. Keep reading. From prospering in thy ways.
And thou shalt be only oppressed.
Thou be only oppressed. That
And
sounds like
spoiled.
black life. That sounds like black life in every city, every country that we're listening, that we live in. I know I saw a video of a brother, right? I couldn't speak French, but listen, the look on his face was I didn't do it, but he was being pulled out of a car at gunpoint, and it looked like somewhere in Montreal, right? And this is what blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans go through on a daily basis. We listen, if you live where the oppressor is on the police force, you hold your breath every time you see a police car. When those lights go on, even if you haven't done anything, your anxiety shoots through the roof because he might try to shoot you through the roof. Right? And that's what he wants to do. Was at the end of it. Keep reading. You can finish out that verse.
And so like yeah, and spoiled evermore, and no man shall save thee.
Right. There hasn't been a single nation that has said, listen, the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, you've robbed them and made a whole empire, made trillions of dollars off of them. Why don't we just find this little island somewhere and give them a home like they did for Israel? Why don't we just split another nation in half and give them a home and give them billions of dollars to build them an army and have an economy and make sure no one oppresses them anymore? Right? Doesn't that sound familiar? That sounds like the fake Syrian Jew. That sounds like the Amalekite. That sounds like the Khazars, right? Who went to Palestine and split it in half, right? And you see Palestine and the fake Jewish man fighting, but we don't have no allegiance to either side because the land doesn't belong to any of them, right? The land belongs to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Was that the end of the verse? Baba Kasha, you could take me to verse 32. We got a couple more scriptures in this that we're going to read, and then you could take me to verse, and then we're going to go on to the other part of my subject.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 32. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people.
Right, hold that right there. That is black, Hispanic, and Native American life. The America says, "Give us your poor, give us your hungry." The Northern Kingdom tries to make it across a imaginary line, and they get foil paper blankets and cages. Right, the tribe of Levi tries to go across that same imaginary line, and they have to be stuck under a bridge. Right, here's the kicker: there was the I.S.U.P.K. Right, it didn't matter if they were stuck under a bridge. Right, Captain Yatazak, right, he got the troops up and ready with trucks. Officer Salakia, Officer RDR, you're right here. You could just tell us about it right now. Salakia, I'm the one talking, but Officer RDR is right here.
Salakia, yeah, you understand? All people, you understand, when all people needed help, you understand, basically when all people needed help, you didn't see the Christian church, understand? You didn't see it, you understand? those that claim, you understand, your leaders. You see men like this. I don't know if y'all can see good.
Right.
You understand? You see men like this, men from Texas, I.S.U.P.K, Texas, man. You understand? Them brothers down there. You understand? Also Yatazar, them brothers in Florida as well. You understand? They're joining, you understand? And they went to help those brothers and sisters, you understand, that were stuck under the bridge. You understand? That was getting whooped by the white man. You understand? While your preacher was sleep 3 o'clock in the morning, you understand? I.S.U.P.K was feeding our people, man, our brothers and sisters, man. You understand? And this is what we're about, man. Just like our sister Bad just said. You understand? This is what we're lacking today. You understand? This is what we're lacking today. Well, you already know, like I.S.U.P.K, you understand? Jamaica is there as well, since Officer 1000 is about in Jamaica right now. You understand? We have brothers in Jamaica. You need help, call up them brothers, man. You understand? Call up them brothers. You understand? Because
Right.
these brothers, you understand, they are the ones that really care about our people. You understand? Not the government, not your preachers. You understand? No, not you understand, your pastors and so on. You understand? Them brothers in the I.S.U.P.K, you understand, are sent from God, man. It's a lot
Right.
of respect.
The water. That was excellent. That was excellent. Well said. Like again, like when our peoples need help, you might as well put the Maganda Wada in the air with the two swords in it. Right. And if you don't have one of those, just isupk.com, man. Type in your city and look for the number. Call the number that's there. That's the real signal. Salakia. So where were we now? Was that the end of the verse? No, we got some more in that verse. You can keep reading.
Khan, and thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long, and
Right.
there shall be no might in thy hand.
Right. Hold that right there. So we're going to have our sons and daughters given to another people. We're gonna mourn for them and long for them all day long. And we're not gonna have any army. We're not gonna have any tanks. We're not gonna make any AKs or M16s to go get them back because we have no might in our hand. We've been broken down. That's the curse of blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, right? Just go ask all the brothers from the '60s scoop. Again, we got tapes that are coming out, right? You can go check it out. There's a brother talking on this same channel, a little video of a protest downtown. Go watch it, and he's gonna tell you what it's like to go through that '60s scoop. Salakia. Where we got? You could bring us to verse 37.
Khan, Deuteronomy 28, verse 37. And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword
Right. You're going to be
among
called
all
a
nations.
nigger. Hold up right there. You're going to be called a nigger, a spick, a wetback, um, just whatever is derogatory. You're gonna be called Canadian, Jamaican, Haitian. You're just not going to be called the children of Israel. That's not what they're going to call you. They're going to look at you and wonder, why are these people so destroyed? Right? Everybody looks at us and they wonder why we're so destroyed, right? While all the other nations are eating, right? The answer is we're destroyed because the other nations are eating us, right? The other nations are eating up us. They're eating off everything we do. That's what the other nations are doing. Keep reading.
Among all nations, whither the Lord shall lead thee.
Read it one more time.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 37. And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all whither the Lord.
Right. We're going to become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword wherever we go. Wherever we go, they're going to wonder what the hell is up with these people. Right. Salakia, Brachia Allah. Let's jump down to 43.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 43. The stranger that is with thee shall get up above thee very high.
Wait, hold that right there. Right, hold that right there. The stranger that's amongst us is going to get up very high. Listen, when them Gadites see those ships landing, they did not think, excuse me, for 1 second that those European men were going to get up very high above them. They did not think as the beaver wars were happening, right? And eventually I'm going to get into those beaver wars, right? Because those beaver wars were definitely some unbrotherly wars, right? They did not think that helping out this oppressor during the beaver wars that they were going to get above them, right? But this is what happens. What you don't think that breaking the law, there's going to be consequences for it. Salakia, right? So you don't think that breaking the law, there's going to be consequences for it. There's consequences. The Most High definitely has consequences, right? Continue reading.
Verse 44.
Nah, read 30:43 one more time.
Wakan. Verse 43. The stranger that is within thee shall get up very high. And
Salakia, Aki, you're breaking up.
stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high.
Right. So we're going to come down very low, and thou shalt come down very low. That's what's going to happen. The stranger gets up high. They run parliament. They run everything that we do. We got to go to them for food, housing, education, everything. And we're very low. We're begging. We're begging for welfare. We're begging for crumbs. Right. So let's go. We got a couple more scriptures in this chapter to break down. Right. You know what? We're just gonna jump down to the listen, no Christian could any of these scriptures that we bring out, no Christian can battle them. But we're gonna get down to this is the knife in the jugular right here. Right. And this curse happened to blacks, Hispanics, and the Native Americans. Right. Let's jump down to 68, Baba Kashar.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
Right. So the Lord's going to bring us into Egypt again, right? Egypt being that house of bondage. The word Egypt is bondage, is house of bondage. It's a Greek word. The Hamites called it Mizraim, right? That's what they called it. They never called it Egypt. Another set of oppressors looked in and said, listen, these guys have these niggas in oppression. We're going to call this bondage. This is the house of bondage. The Lord is telling us we're going to go into Egypt again. We're going to go into bondage again. Let's figure out how we're going into bondage. Read it.
Ships.
With ships, right? So we're going to go into bondage with ships, right? Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans went into slavery with ships. That slave trade first started with 1,100 Tainos, right? Columbus took them back over to Spain. Only 300 survived. They called it good business. They made insurance companies to insure the cargo, that cargo being human bodies, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans with ships. Keep reading.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again.
And we haven't seen our homeland ever since we ran from Romans. Keep reading.
They are sold unto your enemies for bondmen, and bondmen shall buy you.
Salakia, Barakia, Allah, we're going to be sold to our enemies? Did you say that correctly? Read that one more time.
Karawakan, and there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and
We're
no man
going to
shall buy
be
you.
sold unto our enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy us. That was slavery. A bondman and a bondwoman is a slave, and no man shall buy us. That buy meaning redeem, right? No man is going to redeem us. No man is going to say, hey, you know what? Listen, let's just give back all the money we've made off blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans through that slavery. Let's give them a part of North America that they can call their own, and we're just going to leave them alone because we know we did wrong to them. Salakia, Officer Adiyar, is that pepper tea? Salakia, Officer
Yeah,
Adiyar, is
good.
that pepper tea? I just noticed it, Salakia.
Good.
Listen, the last camp we went to Montreal, Officer Adiyar said, here, drink this in the morning. I said, oh, it's tea. He said, yeah, but it's kind of hot. I said, yeah, tea is hot. He said, no, you'll understand, priest. I took a sip. Listen, he made jerk tea.
Good.
So,
Oh,
all right.
that COVID medicine right there. So,
That, yeah, you know what? Yeah, I didn't feel sick. I did not feel sick. Yeah, I had to send me that recipe, Baba Kasha. Slovakia, Trooper Bracchiala, where were we?
We just finished 28 and 68.
Right, and no man shall buy you, right? So you're gonna be bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. Now let's go into the other part of our topic. Da 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 da. Right. So first, one second. So first, so even when you're looking for other topics, you're looking. All right. So we'll say it like this: we just showed you that colors all throughout the Bible, right? Even when you go into Exodus, when the Lord is talking to Moses, he tells Moses put his hand in his bosom. He does this. He literally does this. He takes his hand like this, and he does this into his garment. He takes it out, and now his hand is white, right? And he does it again, takes it out, and it's as his other flesh. The reason they didn't describe his other flesh because everyone knew at the time the Jews were black. Right. You can even go to Esau and Jacob. They said Esau came out ruddy. He came out red like a hairy garment, meaning his blood was showing. Right. But what happens is Christians are going to run to ruddy. Right. And say, no, that's talking about white. Esau was white. Right. And they're usually going to use Songs of Solomon 5 and 10. So I'm gonna try to go through this as fast as possible with the time. We might go over the time just a little, but I know it's getting late, right? And don't forget, one second, let me send that up right now. Let me see if I can find it. Don't forget Black Watch News tonight, right? This one right here. Right, Commander General YAHANNA will be live, Black Watch News, 9 p.m. Right, so let's get to it. Baraki Allah, get me Songs of Solomon 5 and 10. Baba Kasha.
Karawakan is the book of Song of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 10. My beloved is white and ruddy.
Hold up, let me get with you. 1 second. Salaki, okay, so we back. Right, read that one more time.
Song of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 10. My beloved is white and ruddy.
Keep reading.
The chiefest among 10,000.
Right, so this is a woman talking about Solomon, right? He's the chiefest among 10,000, right? This is basically saying like he was that man, right? Now we got to break something down because Christians are going to say, well, Solomon, the woman's saying Solomon is white and he's ready, right? So now we have to break down what this white is and what this ready is, right? Now they'll say they'll say ready means red to just so they can claim Esau is white, right? But Salakia. Esau, like you know, the oppressor, he's not really. They'll even say the oppressor will even say like, okay, our faces turn red when they blush. It's not really like that. It's they turn red because their pigment they have no pigment. Their blood shows through their skin. That's the curse. But they're not really red because red is a form of brown, right? But their blood shows through their skin, so you could see the red of their blood, right? This is what happens when they're embarrassed, right? So now we have to go and break down ruddy, right? So let's jump to hold that Songs of Solomon, but let's jump to uh First Samuel 16 and 12 right quick,
Khan or Khan.
right? Because a Christian's gonna try everything to what the hell? A Christian's gonna try everything to claim his oppressor, right? But let's find out what this ready is. Right. And Baba Kasha, Barakat Allah, can you get us the definition of ready? Right. You can get it off the if you type in ready in the Webster Merriam dictionary, you'll find it there. I'm gonna get it in the Zondervan, so we have it here. But that's what we need. We need the definition of ready.
Khan or Khan. I have it.
You have it in the Webster Merriam.
Khan or Khan.
All right. Can you read it?
Ruddy from the Webster Merriam Dictionary. Having a healthy reddish color.
Right. So on one point we see ready is healthy, right? It's a reddish color. Keep reading.
That's it for the definition.
There should be a little more if you keep going down. One second. Let me see if I can find it. All right, I'm right back. Let me see if I can find it. If you don't see it where it has a little more of the definition at the bottom, one second. Give me one moment. Salakia,
So, like, what was that?
were you able to find a definition with a longer definition, a more in depth?
A lot of one.
Okay, give me one moment. I'm gonna look for it. Give me one moment. All right, I'm back. Salakia. All right, so even when you now, I don't have the dictionary with me, but when you go into the Webster's Merriam Dictionary, right, and you look up the word ruddy, it's going to tell you that it's describing a dark-skinned Hebrew, right? It's going to tell you that it was the color of the Hebrews, right? And we see now on one part, ruddy meant young, right? It meant handsome, right? So now let's get it out of the Zondervan. One moment. Let's get it out the Zondervan right quick. Right. So we have ruddy here in the Zondervan, right? A word used to refer to a red or fair complexion. Right. Now, Baraki Allah, do you know what when they say the word fair, what is it? Do you know what it's describing? Like, what does the word fair mean when it says fair complexion?
So like I think it's a beautiful complexion.
Right. So that's what it's talking about. A word used to refer to a red or beautiful in contrast to the dark skin of the Hebrews. Right. So now we're seeing right there that it's also meaning dark skin as well. It's also meaning that it was a fair complexion as well. It's also meaning that when you're reading Salakia, So like if I timed out for a second, it also means that when you're reading, when it's talking about Solomon and David, it's telling you that they were beautiful, they were handsome, right? So let's get back to First Samuel 16 and verse 12.
God is the book of First Samuel, chapter 16, verse 12. And he sent and brought him in. Now he was ruddy and
Right.
withal
So this is saying that he was young, right? He was young, he's ready, right? Keep reading.
and withal of a beautiful countenance
Keep reading.
and goodly to look to.
Right. So he was handsome. He was goodly to look to. The women looked upon him. Keep reading.
And the Lord said, Arise, anoint him, for this is he.
Right. And this is talking about David at this moment. This is talking about David, right? Because they said he was a young, handsome brother. This is talking about him about to be anointed, right? So now let's go back to Songs of Solomon, verses 5 to 10, right? So that's what this is talking about. So now let's go back and keep reading. Right. So now we're gonna go back and keep reading Songs of Solomon verse 10 and get the actual understanding for the word ready.
Kana Wakan. It's Song of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 10. My beloved is white and ruddy.
All right, so now we got to another word. So now we're seeing a contradiction, right? This is what this is, and now it's not really a contradiction to a brother in the truth, but when a Christian is going to tell you that he was white and Reddy is going to white, but Reddy said dark skin. So how can you be white and dark skin? Right. So that's where you cut the Christian right there. Now, what does the word white mean?
So, Lucky, I'm not sure how to one.
Right. It would be another way of no sweat out. It would be another way of saying clean. Like David was clean. He was shining, right? So it's saying this is Salakia. This is Solomon. We're in the Songs of Solomon. This is one of Solomon's ribs singing about him. Her beloved is clean and ready, right? Meaning he's shining. Like when you get a brand new car and you clean it up, they say that whip is clean.
So like if we see was dripping.
He was dripping, right? He was on the wave. He had that drip. That's what this is talking about. He was dripping, right? He was dripping, and and handsome. And he was a dark skinned Hebrew, because we that's what we got from the definition. Ruddy is dark, it's handsome, right? He was dripping. Keep reading.
The chiefest among 10,000.
So she's saying her beloved is clean. He's dripping and handsome, and he's that man among 10,000, the chiefest among 10,000, right? Verse 11.
Verse 11. His head is as the most fine gold.
Wait. So now this is what a Christian's going to run to after you cut them on that verse. They're going to say, no, but keep reading, right? So his head is as fine gold. To a Christian, this means David was Brad Pitt. This means David was one of those blondies, one of those beach bums. That's what a Christian. That's what they're thinking about Solomon, right? They're thinking that Solomon, his head was fine gold, right? But what's that really saying? Not one second. We got to keep reading. Keep reading.
His locks are bushy and black as a raven.
So wait. So that's where you cut the Christian as well, because on one hand they're gonna say his head was fine gold, he was blonde, but then again it says his locks were bushy, like, and black as a raven, right? So what does the fine gold mean, Barakiala?
He had good hair, like beautiful hair.
Ooh, my nigga, he said he had good hair, right? That's exactly what it meant. That man had good hair, like, because again, we broke down like black hair is good hair. If you have black hair, you are born black, Hispanic, or Native American, you have good hair, right? So when you have fake leaders like Beyonce saying go call Becky with the good hair, that's because she hates her people. She doesn't love herself. That's why she's always naked and dancing and everything. I walked down on Young Street and there's a store, an Adidas store. I looked in to see a pair of shoes, and all I could see is the lower half of Beyonce in the window. And I'm thinking she is a mother and a man's wife. She hates herself. She has no love for herself or her daughter or her peoples, because she's gonna tell them it's okay to be naked. But let's get back to it. Let's not get carried away into another subject, right? This is saying that Solomon's hair was fine gold. His locks were bushy and black as a raven. Right? He was dripping. He was dripping. Right? And this is how you know that the ruddy is not talking about it's not talking about a white person in this offense, in this aspect, right? Da, 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 da. Is there any more? Give me 1 second. All right, so that brings us to a end of our topic, right? What I'll close out with, one moment. I'm gonna close out with, like, if you want more information, you can tune into the I.S.U.P.K and our classes, ask all these questions, right? Go back and watch this tape again. Go get you a from Babylon to Timbuktu. You need a Zondervan's Pictorial Bible Dictionary. I'm working on getting a Russian icons, but because they know that Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are waking up, they're making these books more expensive. So you got to get them now. And these books are going to help you when it comes to battling all types of Christians, right? And if you want to know how to battle and battle perfectly and never lose, you got to get with Commanding General YAHANNA, right? You got to get with Officer Adiyar, myself, Trooper Brachiala in Canada. You got to get with Officer Bond and sit at his feet and learn how to battle, right? Is there anything, Salakia, Officer Adiyar, you want to add anything?
Nah, priest. You could get it. You have it.
So we're gonna bring this class to a close. I want to say again, we're live in Jamaica. This truth is going out all over the world. We're international, right? You can just hit up ISUPK.com, click on your zone, click on your city, and look for the number and talk to the brother that answers the phone. If you have any more questions, you're trying to find the school that's closest to you, right? Get with some real brothers and sisters. Learn this truth. Learn how to love your people, right? It's time for us to gather together. Zephaniah 2:1 says, "Gather together," right? And that's what we're supposed to do, right? So again, I'm Officer and Priest 1000 Zabaja of the I.S.U.P.K under Commander General YAHANNA. We started out 1969, Harlem, New York, 1 West 125th Street, teaching Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans that they are the Israelites of the Bible, right? The water for all that's tuning in. Like and share this video. Don't forget, Commander General YAHANNA is going live. So, Salakia, give me one moment. I'm going to drop that sign out link for you. Give me one moment. I'm gonna drop that sign out link for you real quick. If you're in the school and you need the sign out link, I'm gonna drop it for you right now. Give me one moment. Give me one moment. Right. So you're seeing like there's color scriptures all throughout the Bible. Don't ever let a Christian tell you that you're not who you are. We know who we are. We know what we worship. All right, here's the English sign out link for you if you need it. I'm gonna post the Spanish sign out link right now. Hey Akim, I'm gonna keep posting these sign out links. Hey Shalom, Yahweh Hashem Yahshai Barakatah to all the brothers. Yahweh Shemai Lechem B'Hashem Yahweh Shai to the sisters. I'm gonna post this last, no sweat, the water for tuning in. I'm gonna post this last sign out link and the class is over. Clap it up. The water for tuning in. Hey, Shalom.